My name is Darren Mullins. I work for Lighting Dynamics. We're the manufacturer's rep for Hubble Building Automation, which is the lighting control system here at Charles Dickens School. We're going to start here in the main electrical room and just kind of go over, give an overview of your system that you guys have. Go through the pieces parts, tell you any little tips for turning stuff on and overrides, stuff like that, and we'll go from there. So what you have here, it looks like from the bill of material that you have, there are 3 panels. There's an 8 circuit, a 16 circuit, a 32 circuit relay panel, and all those are strictly relays in these panels. They run the lighting loads through there, and it gives means through your building automation system, a means to turn stuff on and off. This one looks like the main one. It doesn't appear that they have the legends filled out yet, but Ted said that he was going to drop those in, and all that legend basically does is tell you what circuit. I'm sure typically in these schools, and again I don't know, in these schools they'll put corridor lighting on, gym lighting, cafeterias, and like libraries typically is what they run through, and all of your site lighting is typically run through these panels as well. And when we have a legend, you can come over. A quick overview on the system. As long as you have that green light going, that means all systems are go. That means that the system is functioning as it should. It's constantly updating itself and looking. If you ever have a problem, a short, a circuit, something when your circuit would go bad, you'll get this amber light that will come on. And what that amber light tells you is that you're going to need service. I gave you my card. Inside here, if we take this off, there's a Hubble number. It's a tech number for 24 hours a day. It's an 888 number. We can take that off. If I had a screwdriver, we can take that off.
Do you know it?
Well, I can actually tell you. It's on the back here.
We could do it after.
It's right here. It's the 888-698-3242 number. It's also located in every one of the panels as well. But that's if you ever have questions or you can't get a hold of somebody locally, that's a good reference on that program. And what they'll do is they'll tell you to go get the tablet, and then I'll show you later on how to go through that too. Sometimes the first thing they'll ask you to do is there's a reset button right there. You can see it right beside of the amber. They'll ask you to hold that down for 10 seconds and go back. And all that does is go back to the original programming that was put into the system. It resets the whole system. If you look, all of your line power is in the sides. I mean, whoever the qualified electrician is, I would never get in there unless you had a qualified electrician in here. That's everything in here. The max you can get is 46 volts DC. You're not going to get shot anywhere in here. It's not enough to hurt you. Okay. There's 2 ways to turn your relays on and off. I'm going to turn them off. Is school going on?
Yeah.
Is it? I probably shouldn't do that. There's one that's not lit. Yeah, right here. Let's do this one. There's 2 ways. You see there's an on and an off button, a push button right there. You can turn the relay on and turn it off. That's the first way that you can do it. Or you can get a high-dollar tool like a key or your pen. You can take your pen and you can turn it off. It's got a little ridge right here. See where it's marked off? You can turn it back on or off that way too. There's 2 ways to turn it on and off. But pretty much in the panel, that's all you've got. Again, they've wired all of the lighting loads through the relays, and all the relay is a means of switching. Each panel has a port that allows you to take this tablet, which we'll go over. And this tablet is what you set all of your, you can program through this tablet. I have a laptop that we bring out to the site. It's a little easier to program, but this tablet gives you the means to do everything that I can do from the laptop. And all you'll do on this, typically you'll see it placed in. Don't leave it plugged in. It's a plasma screen. If you leave it plugged in, it's kind of like a plasma screen TV where it'll burn in, the Hubble building automation. I'm going to pull it off and it gets real dim over age. Just usually we coil that cord up and then stick it in the side and do that. But when you go to use it, go ahead and pull it out. pause for a second and it'll come up. And basically this tells you, you take a quick glance at it, 10:27 a.m., which should be pretty close to your time. Tuesday, December 7th, 2010. It gives you sunrise and sunset. It has astronomic time clock built in to each program. So that'll always update itself. So if all of that's good, you're good. Go ahead and touch the screen to begin. And then this is where you can go in and look at the different systems, the different devices that you have within the system. System settings is where you can always go. Like if you would ever need to change the time and date, you go here, you tell that, and you would hit on time. You could basically hit hour and then tab up and down if you wanted it 9:27, 10, if you wanted to set it forward an hour for some reason. I don't know why you would ever do that, but it just, how you would update it, hit PM and then daylight savings. Most people ride the daylight savings. And then the date for some reason, if you want to move that. Same thing, you hit month, scroll up and down, hit day, scroll up and down. The only time that you would ever maybe do that is if you had some kind of a short in the system. For whatever reason, it took the panel down or something. Memory on these things, you're never going to be without power for 30 days. The memory of all the programming and everything is in here for 30 days. If for some reason it was down or whatever, we have a copy of what was programmed when Mike was here. So it's a simple phone call. We run up, we upload it into the system, and you're right back to where you were at before. So that's one good thing about having the local people programming. We're just down in Akron. So, and actually Mike lives out east here, so we'll be able to do that. So back out. It's just a quick tutorial on that. If you ever want to go and set open and close times, you would click on the days and do that. And again, if you guys want to tweak it, call Mike or myself and we'll come up here. We can sit down with you, come up with a schedule, and we can tweak the system to whatever we need on that. This just shows you the means to be able to get in. The actual clock tells you we have to set the latitude and longitude. That's what helps fund the daylight savings that we do on that. Hours of operation too, same thing. Say on Saturdays, I don't know if this is like a community learning center, like in Akron, they do all the schools as community learning centers, and they have to be open to the public on the weekends too. So they have certain days on Saturdays and Sundays that they want the lights to come on at 8 in the morning and go off at 6 at night. So we go ahead and set up that schedule and do that for those as well. So you can do that through any of the programming. System inputs. These are the main items that you have. You have switch stations. You have, I don't think from the bill of material, I don't think there were any motion sensors that were on the network itself. I think those were all standalones with power packs and everything, and then photo sensors and stuff. It looks like they have that too. But if you ever want to go to check switch stations, you can view the switch station states. And how this system works on the switch stations, they have a 3-digit number that has these 3 little dials. In each switch station, we have to set an address for that switch station. And if you pull the cover off those, it has that address. Now, I don't know if Mike turned anything over to you for your OM manuals that shows the addresses on that. He probably has all of that. So you have that OM menu, you can go and you can tell, okay, 002 is in the west wall of the gym or whatever that you've got on that. And it just helps for looking like there's a key switch on here too that they have. So, and I'm sure they provided you with all your key switches. We'll go look at one of those too.
Oh, the manuals are in the owner's possession.
In the ocean, which they'll turn over to you.
Okay, I'll be turning them over to you once they review our primary set. Then they'll approve those, and then we make the proper copies of what time they'll be given.
Okay.
They're in for review right now. Okay. So.
All right, now this one, I'll go back here. This is under the groups. And what groups are is basically, we can build a group out of all 3 panels. Like say you had site lighting in all 3 panels, and you wanted to take relays 1, 3, 5, 7 out of this panel, relays 2 and 4 out of another panel, and relays 15 to 16 out of another panel. You can tie those all into one group and tell them to come on and off at the same time. Which Mike, if I look here, go to view group, he's created groups called Gym Lighting 1. Do you have 2 gyms in here? Is there like an auxiliary gym?
Well, if they split it in half.
Maybe that's what it is. Gym Lighting 1, Gym Lighting 2, a sight and canopy lighting, which is all your outdoor lights and the canopy lights where you come in, and an interior lighting package, which is probably your corridors that he turns on at 6 in the morning and goes off, whatever. And I don't know anything about this, I'm just guessing from what we typically do on these jobs. But if you would want to look at one of those, that's telling you gym lighting 1 is panel. This is 001 here. He's got relays in 001 and 002 under that gym lighting. And then panel 001, which is this one, as you scroll down through these, it'll tell us which ones are in that group. It'll say yes instead of no, that that's in there. You go through, you gotta scroll down, but you get the idea.
So this is 001 right here.
This is 001, you can kind of tell right here, right from the top down, BBC 001.
Okay.
So the next panel is probably, I'm sure how he addressed it, the next one is 002 and the last one's 003, depending on, and we can look at those when we go to those. But back to that, if you wanted to put another relay into that group to come on the same time as the gym lights or whatever, you would edit the group then. Go to edit group, click on gym lighting 1, and then panel 001, say you wanted to put relay 1 in that, click on that, and then relay 1, it's lit, so you would want to include it. So you would hit include and it would turn that no to a yes. And then once you did that, you would hit OK and it would write that to the system and it would be in that same group. Or any other ones that you wanted to go down and include those into that group, and then it would turn on. And then once you were done with doing that, you hit OK and it writes it to the system and puts it up and it would be included in it. Presets, there's nothing, there's no special function. That's pretty much it on that, on the system inputs and everything. It gives you the means to do what we do on a laptop. You can do it through here, it just takes a lot longer to be able to do that. At one time, they used to program these 15 and 20 panel systems with one of these, and it would take them 3 or 4 days to go through and do everything. But next is a tablet, and like I said, when you go back here, go ahead and unplug it, oil it up. I usually put the cord behind. And you can take that to any of the panels that we have, the 8 or the 16 circuit panel as well. They all have the same port. So you can program from any of those. If there's one closer to your guys' office, if your office is there, you can just get up and go to that if you want to check something too.
The relays you said it's 24 volts.
46 volt is what the power module gives you. 46 volts DC.
Okay.
DC. All it is it's a 2-wire system out to any device that's on the system. It's very easy. It's just a 2-wire, and polarity doesn't matter. So you can tie the black wire to the white wire on this side, and just the opposite on the other. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be consistent throughout.
Okay.
They're just very specific on the wire that we use. Belden or Windy City, I'm not sure which one you guys use.
I don't know which one.
But if you get into that, call us and
We bought it with the package.
yeah, on that. So, but relays too are numbered 1, 3, just like an electrical panel. 1, 3, 5, 7. If you go down through 2, 4, 6. Very similar to and then, like I said, when you have the schedules in, that'll tell you on that. It'll tell you relay 1 is gym lighting or whatever. Whatever it's controlled. And that's where, if for some reason the programming's not turning on or whatever, you just come and find it and turn it on one of those 2 ways. You just turn it on. Anytime you see the green light indicates that those are on.
Now, if we override the system, we come in and we manually set something, we have to come back and.
No, if the programming is correct on it, if you override it, what it'll do, the next time it's told to go off, it'll turn yours off too. You won't have to touch it again. And then, say at 6 o'clock in the morning, you tell it to come back on, it'll come back on. Okay. It'll pick up at the next program, whatever the next program is. But it's pretty simple. I mean, there's not a lot.